we grow, we evolve, we expand our capacity as humans only through communal experiences. You're listening to the Better Relationships After Baby podcast, where we believe your relationship can be better than ever after having a baby. But it does take tools, insights, and support to help you get there. I'm Chelsea. Join me and my husband, Mike, as we have honest conversations, provide valuable tips you can apply today, and root for you to have your best relationship ever. It's not only good for you and your family, it's good for the whole world around us. Now let's get into today's episode. Cheers, man. Mason jar cheers. Don't break them. We've had too many things break lately.
True. Particularly dishes. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about the purpose of our existence.
What are we really talking about?
I was going to get there.
Oh, I gotcha.
I think we're wired for community and for doing life
I get you.
with other people.
I'm sorry. Start over. I interrupted. Go for it. You've got this. It's great. That's a great...
What did I say, though? We're talking about the purpose of life, essentially.
The meaning of life. Uncovered today. After thousands and thousands of years, the question rang throughout humanity. And today, we will find out your purpose. The purpose we're all here for. Don't end in a preposition, but I had to.
Community. For other interactions in the way that, the way the Bible says it is iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the reality is that, we grow, we evolve, we expand our capacity as humans only through communal experiences.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's very true. I can't speak to it, but I know there's a lot of data on it. I can't tell you just how deep that runs.
Okay. Yeah. But I think if we were to dig into things like evolutionary psychology, there's likely some strong evidence for the power of community and group. And that could go multiple ways. We're not going to go every direction today. We're going to be talking.
Hint, Mike, keep it
on topic. We are going to be talking about the way that community can be such a huge part of your personal evolution around having a baby, stepping into a whole new role of being a father or a mother, and the way that we've lost a lot of, tradition or rituals around such a major life change. And yet we know a huge place for that to happen is in a communal space with other people who are either guides, they've been there, or they are fellow peers working through things similar to what you are.
Yeah, that is good stuff. Because, right, the power of community is virtually, I would say, untapped in a lot of ways right now.
We want to make a case today for more community, more group spaces in your life, especially if you're feeling lonely or if you're feeling like you're the only one, or you're feeling like everyone on social media is just killing it and it's killing you on the inside. I'm going to make a case for that and hope that by the end of this episode, you're finding a space to plug in, whether that's something to do with us, whether that's something to do with parenthood in another space, whether that's a pottery class or a workout class. We're just plugging into other people again.
Yeah, absolutely. And what better time than around starting a family?
Yeah. So as we were writing this episode, I was thinking specifically of the couple that is ending their day back to back in the bed, scrolling on the phone.
Their individual phones.
Their individual phones. Not to say, hey, you suck, but to say, hey, we know that feeling and it's probably not the one you want right now. Mm-hmm. What if we find some ways to get to a better iteration? I'm going to steal your word, but like iteration of who we are.
Yeah.
So you're not doing it wrong. You're seeing that early parenthood stretches most couples, the strongest of couples, and people have different levels of support built in that influences that. But truly, we weren't meant to do this in the isolated state that we see so much right now.
Right. Yeah. And I think I would say to that, it's not that, because everyone in postpartum finds that their uglier sides can come to the surface, right? And there's some shame and guilt that comes with that, which isn't necessary, because it's not that you're doing it wrong. It's that you're doing it alone.
Yeah.
We weren't really designed to do things in isolation. I mean, for thousands of years, like I said, that new parents learned from their parents and all of the people in the community. But somewhere along the way, we traded all that connection for independence. And it's not that connection was always perfect, right? It came with its own baggage, especially generation after generation after generation.
Right.
There's like these artifacts that get passed down that are no longer helpful.
Yes.
And so going into a season of grand independence, I think really helped us shed some of those things, which is nice, so that we can come back to community a little wiser, right?
Wow. Yeah, I love that. As you were talking, I was thinking earlier actually about how, I think it's an interesting phenomenon that some people are dedicating their career to studying, but how things used to be passed on generation to generation. It seems to me like things are changing more rapidly than ever before, and maybe they'll continue to do so, which blows my mind. But I think it's harder to have this like generation to generation pass down for a number of reasons. But one of them being that so much has changed in this generation that even really well-intended care and support sometimes just doesn't resonate, which is where I think kind of this peer-based group is such an important piece of learning something and developing something alongside people who are really approaching it with a lot of the same information and background as you are.
Exactly. When you're under constant stress, like you are in postpartum, which is true. If you're not there yet, it doesn't mean there aren't wonderful, beautiful, great, lovely, connected moments, because there are. But you're also like learning a lot of new things for the first time, and they're all really important, and a lot of them are urgent, and you're depending on each other to come through, and you're both learning it for the first time. There's a lot of room for getting upset, right? For frustration. That stress load forces our brain to be in a more fight or flight sort of mindset. Now, it's not a hard shift. It's not like a switch. You're in fight or flight or you're not. It's kind of like a gradual lessening of one and an increasing of the other, an ebb and flow back and forth. So under stress, depending on the stress load or the amount that you're enduring, right? And people have different levels of endurance. But when it's new stress, you're pretty much, you're kind of on your own there, but it's going to really shift you towards being more apprehensive, more cautious, more aware of things that might cause more stress, right? Your brain is not looking for opportunities to connect with your partner.
Okay. So I think that explains some of this spiral that we see people getting into. Like when stress piles up, People are saying things that don't even sound like them. They're getting defensive. It's reaction. You might call your partner a name when you had, agreed that name calling wasn't going to be part of your interaction. Like, the body stress response that you were just talking about, you're saying is looking for the threats. And so things that aren't a threat can feel like a threat. And if you're both in that high stress state and nobody is like anchoring the energy in the presence, then you're just like table tennising back and forth
aggressively.
So there's like the ability to have teamwork is hijacked by the threat perception of one another. Yeah,
absolutely. And and that's because you're in close proximity to each other in that state of stress, right? If you were with someone else, it would be someone else. The brain just easily falls into that trap of thinking that other person is the problem, or
And I think it's fair to say, like, some people don't have that pattern. Like, some people, their relationship dynamic has really nailed the interconnectivity and communication and honoring their warning signs or their hot buttons. And that could be for a various number of reasons. Maybe they've been through something really difficult together and had to hone this skill, or maybe they both grew up in homes where communication was modeled really well and they talked about it before they started their relationship. But I think
by and large,
yes, this season is shocking and you can feel alone. And the worst thing to feel in postpartum season is alone.
Yeah, absolutely. And like living in the same house with people, but feeling alone is like another layer.
Right.
Yeah. And were you finished?
I think so for now.
Okay. Yeah. It's natural to fall into these less than helpful patterns in stress. And that's just normal, right? And those things will happen naturally, which is where something else comes into play. That's where we begin to like start to take action and make choices instead of going with the natural flow. The thing is, and the reason that we focus on this work when a new family begins is, number one, it's such a fragile, tender time, right? It's a really important time to get off on the right foot. And get a good foundation laid. What we know from the research is that early parenthood, is one of the highest stress points in adult life, the entire life. Right. Rates of postpartum depression, anxiety, those are actually at historic highs right now. And not only for mothers, but for partners too. The one that didn't even carry the baby is still feeling some stuff here. But right, the thing is, when one person spirals, the whole family system feels it.
Right. And in community, the healing or the growth or the peace of one family can be that ripple effect on their friends or their sisters, brothers, other people who are parenting young children. Like, that ripple effect is why I think this is world changing.
Absolutely.
Changing the world starts with
the ripple effect.
Ripple effect there.
Yeah.
The spiral effect happens too, right? So like, let's go for more ripples than spirals.
So I'm glad you said that. I was writing this the other day. I was thinking about how when you're stressed, sometimes, when you're under more stress, it is more likely that you will see those around you in a negative light more often. As the stress mounts, it becomes easier to consider saying those things out loud. Yeah. Once that's done, it usually doesn't land well. Yeah. And then what has happened is you have added more fuel to the fire. The problem is the stress load. The comment increases the stress load, which then increases the likelihood that y'all can be nastier with each other.
Yeah.
Right?
And not the kind of nasty you want to be. I just want to embarrass you a little bit more.
Thanks. Appreciate
Make you uncomfortable.
It's important. Yeah. Yes. Do we want to talk about our groups?
Yeah, I do. Okay. Because I think we're talking about the shift, the change that can happen. And it's really easy to be like, yeah, I know this is stressful. Why are you asking me to take another hour out of my week?
Yeah, right.
So, again, whether that's our group, a different group, a space you go, our job right now is to make the case for why the work that happens in those spaces saves time and energy heartache and frustration. But when you're in survival mode like that, it's hard to not see an hour of time as a threat to your whole stability. And so you're going to stay in those bad patterns if your brain doesn't kind of supersede the threat to say, oh my gosh, if I take care of these things, I won't be living in that threat, fear, scarcity space. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's such a good point. It's like when you're in it, what you need, even the help you need can feel like a threat, right? You got the time, all the sense of scarcity and all of that. That's nuts. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so first, why do groups work, right? Like, we love doing our work one-on-one, two-on-two with couples, but groups are really special. I actually started this business on small groups.
Yeah,
that was the very beginning. And it's not just that we want to help more people at once. That's a benefit. That is true. But there truly is some psychology behind why doing the learning and the growth in groups works. So, I think it starts with when you hear another dad or another mom say, oh, we've been there too, like unlocks something in you. It's like
permission.
Yeah. You drop the shame. You feel not alone. Like, oh, I'm facing this struggle with other people. Yeah. And if I can believe in them, I can believe in me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good point. There's decades of research on this. When people feel seen and understood without being judged, their nervous system settles. They drop in, they feel at home kind of more in their body and in the room and in the group. And that's co-regulation. We've talked about that. We've done a few workshops, places where co-regulation is something to keep in mind. But it doesn't just happen between partners. It happens in whole groups, right? And that's neuroscientists call this the social safety system.
Right.
So it's apparently the same circuitry that helps a baby calm down when it's held, and it still works in adults.
Okay, quick invite while we're here. If you're expecting or in the trenches of early parenthood, our small mom group on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern and dad group on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern start next Monday, November 17th and Tuesday, November 18th. Week 1 is free, so come try it out before you decide. You'll get language, reps, and accountability to show up as a team at home. Grab your spot in the link that is down in the show notes or at postpartumtogether.com. Remember, that first session is on us. Well, that's pretty cool.
I don't think you're holding each other physically.
Probably not.
But you're sort of holding each other emotionally or mentally.
Yeah. And I think that really highlights what our job is in groups, is to understand how a group runs best to create that safety, to create spaces where they can be seen and understood. That's why we're intentional in our community agreements about being accepting and kind and encouraging. That's why we cap our groups so that they are small and intimate enough that there really is space for everyone to have the microphone when they want or need it. And also large enough that it's not just two people sitting across from each other feeling like they awkwardly have to exchange everything at once.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's wild. All praise to therapy, but there's something special that happens when you're in a place of belonging. And humans, again, were lived through generations and generations and generations of this, and we regulate better when we're connected and not when we're isolated.
Well, something that I think does set our groups apart from some of the free online groups I've found in these spaces is that, as coaches, it's, I think, wired in us to not just talk about feelings or thoughts or change,
right, but to take action.
And to practice it within the group. You have a topic you need to bring up with your partner and you're scared to do it. You don't know how to do it. We're going to practice together so that you can feel that in your body and your brain and know that it's going to be okay for that to come out, and to know that you are like centered and regulated and know how you want to show up for that conversation. I mean, it's great to practice in the mirror, right? But you're going to, unless you have really, really great accountability to yourself, it's going to be 10 times better to have a group to practice those things in.
Yeah, or even talk about them with. Like them seeing and validating and recognizing. Yeah, totally. There's something I want to talk about later. It almost fits here. I think it'll fit later.
Okay.
Today's a little research heavy. There's a researcher who did, his name's Bandura. We definitely can cite that in the notes if we need to. But Bandura's social learning research showed that adults learn best by modeling and rehearsing skills, not just hearing about them, right?
Yeah.
And I've heard motivational speakers say something like, if you sit there and listen to what I'm telling you, you're going to remember 1% of it. If you write it down while you're here, you're going to remember 5 or 10% of it. If you turn to your neighbor and talk to them and share with them something you've gotten out of this, you're going to remember 50% of it. If you stand up and you let your body really feel this revelation or this insight or this change, and you are expressive with your body and your emotions and you're talking about it and you're seeing it in your mind, that's where the change happens. It's like a whole global comprehensive thing, not just an idea in your head. So when a couple practices communication, everyone else's brain, they really wouldn't have couples in the group, but when folks are practicing communication in the group, it's like a practice rep.
Sure.
It's like,
Yeah. And it builds in what I think a lot of people need and are missing, which is accountability.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to enter a group and then end it unchanged, not having taken the actions, not gotten over that voice in your head, not doing the thing that you said you wanted to do. So with a group, you have accountability. And I think sometimes we need that kind of external motivation. A lot of us do. Maybe some people don't. I do. I need accountability and that external motivation that like someone is counting on me, or someone believes I can do this, or someone else in my situation is doing this. So I'm going to be able to step up and do this too. I can make this better too.
Yeah. And on that note, there are both moms and dads, although they see it differently, in postpartum pretty regularly are going to feel like they're failing.
Yeah.
They're going to feel like they're not showing up well. And there are going to be times that their partner looks at them and doesn't feel all the good feelings about, yeah, they're going to get this and I believe in you, and you can't get that. You can't rely on each other for that. And that's where the outside group comes in, right? Because they can cheer you on and they can hold you accountable, like you've said.
And it's like unfair to expect your partner to be your sole cheerleader during the most transformative time of both of your lives. Like, that's what a lot of people are doing.
Poorly, because you can't do it well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they're putting in the effort.
Groups. We like groups.
We do like groups. Okay. Well, I saw this happen on Reddit, actually, this morning. I saw the post this morning. I'm not sure if it was posted this morning, but a guy got on and he was very open and vulnerable. And he said, man, I think I made a total mistake. I'm about to go back to work tomorrow. And the truth is, I just want to run away, leave town. I feel like I don't know which way's up, and I don't know how to do this financially. I don't know how to do this, like how to even show up and be a dad. I don't know how to get our relationship right. He was really feeling it. What was beautiful was the support that came, the sort of like responses, the comments to that post. And so many of them were like, hey man, I have been there. Postpartum can be hell sometimes. It's going to get better. You are not failing. You are in the midst of it, right? You are overloaded, those sorts of things. And he edited his post and put a sort of like an ending on there and said, oh my God, guys, like this completely changed my mindset. And he even said he would come back to it every once in a while if he needed a refresh. And I mean, that's just right, a text kind of based group. But that guy went from considering leaving his family to, I can do this. Yeah. And it was the power of that group that really motivated him and believed in him and, validated what he was feeling. I think that's the group magic, right? Yeah. And the data matches what we see. Fathers, when they have safe spaces to talk, everybody benefits. Yeah. Like
it's just like not as common.
It's not
for dads
in this day and age.
Yeah.
Throughout history and different cultures, those things have existed. But I think we've gone through such an era of like, from past generations, like duty and do your work without complaining. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what you feel like, we have stuff to do. And earlier generations really did endure and come through a lot of difficult, challenging times, where they learned how to be like ruggedly independent and sturdy. But that's kind of a new and temporary thing. Human beings throughout the world, like when men have a chance, and women too, have a chance to be together, like in a brotherhood or a sisterhood. And I certainly don't mean this to sound uninclusive, right? Like this is true of partners. A lot of the non-birthing partners are going to be men, right? But just being the counterpart to the one who has carried the baby is our role. Yeah. And it has its own function. And just to be able to connect with people outside of that, there's got to be a good metaphor for this, but it's not coming to me just yet.
All right. Maybe it'll come back to you.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I hear you. Like I see the same for moms. Again, I have run groups off and on for 5 years, and I see and hear and get to know women who come in feeling like they're the only ones who are losing their patients or feeling disconnected. Mm-hmm. And my favorite messages after the first or second group call is always the ones that are, oh my gosh, what a fresh of breath air. Wait, what a breath of fresh air. Like, I'm not the only one. There are ways I can approach this. Because, you know, when we kind of share even our emotional load, when we're not keeping it all inside our brains and bodies, which I think men do, I think women do for a number of reasons, you know, time and space to open up like that, and embarrassment and shame around opening up about things. Like, there's a lot of reasons, but when we kind of get into a space where we can see and share that emotional load, even, the body knows when it's not alone. So that's even like a physical opportunity for you to release some of that tension that is in your body, when with other people you realize, you know, you're not carrying everything alone.
Yeah, that's really good. I might just add that last piece in, right? Like, we can take it out if we want. Yeah, exactly. Research even shows that when fathers engage with each other or with their kids, it doesn't.
I find this really important too. You know, you've talked about co-regulation, and there are studies, the end. And I'm not going to make a claim here that being in a group is going to, you know, keep you from having postpartum depression or anxiety. There's so many factors there. But what we do know is that peer support spaces have been shown to significantly reduce postpartum depressive symptoms. Because it's, you know, it's like that buffer. Again, you can easily spiral or just feel so out of control or out of your body or out of your mind. And this group kind of, you know, you think about bowling, it's like the side walls. Like, it might go down the lane a little wonky. You might hit all 10 pins. You might just hit one, but you have a buffer so you're not going in the gutter every time. Wasn't that a good metaphor?
It actually is great, yes.
But yeah, as I said, like, there is research to show that increases your self-compassion, gives you emotional regulation. These things can contribute to lower depressive symptoms, which can be a game changer in that season.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the spiral out, there's two occasions that someone can spiral out, like we've talked about. One, in sort of that like mounting stress argument where the worse it gets, the worse it gets. And the more you say, the worse it gets, and on and on. But there's also this other piece where you can feel just alone. And that is a kind of a spiral out too.
Like an inner spiral.
Yeah. And I think spiraling out is just talking like efficiency, numbers, resources. That really takes your energy away. That's not going to help your family. It can derail you in some big ways, even if it's just a matter of time. Time lost anytime sucks, but during postpartum it can make it, you know, pretty tough. You're already stressed and stretched.
So I think that comes back to why we can justify, we can say, hey, take this hour, 90 minutes a week with us proactively to save you all the energy, resources, and reserves that get depleted when you aren't on top of it, when you aren't proactive, when you're not feeling like you're showing up confidently and on the same team as your partner.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a adage for this.
I'm listening.
I don't remember it, you know, but it's like...
How's it sound? Do you remember any part of it?
It's so simple. It's like about a small input being tenfold in saving you troubles.
Oh, a stitch in time saves 9.
Yes! We did it!
There might be another one, but that's definitely...
That's what I was thinking of, though.
Yeah. Okay, great.
They're going to ask you to slow down and make one stitch to save 9 of them from unraveling.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a bigger pain in your ass.
Yeah, it is. And that is proactivity, right? Like you can say, I don't want to take the time to do that. And then in the end, you end up losing a lot more time because of the potholes and pit holes and pitfalls and all of those things. Yeah. But I also love groups because when you're sharing like this change, it's a transition and you're learning a lot of things for the new time, for the first time, right? It reduces the shame that people experience when you, like the guy on Reddit, right? I would guess he probably was feeling some shame about the, he's like, I feel like I can't do this. I feel like I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And it's when those other folks shared, like, no, that's normal for folks to feel like that. Like I felt like that and it gets better, right? That kind of group, like going through a major life transition with a supportive group that is also going through that same transition allows you to validate and see each other, which increases your resilience.
Yeah. I do want to make a quick disclaimer for our groups, though.
What's that?
I have seen people who love their shame and guilt. Oh. Like they are not.
That's not allowed in our groups.
Go to therapy and figure that out. Mm-hmm. This, if you are attached to your identity in like a victim-y, shame, guilt way, like have seen people in that space, this group is not gonna help you with that. Right. Like you've got to be in a place where you want better patterns for yourself and you're willing to see what's on the other side of those patterns instead of staying where you are because you're scared of the unknown.
Yeah. And that's actually probably a good point to mention, that therapy and coaching go really well together. Yeah. And that therapy allows you to dig deep and see things. And coaching is really about learning how to take action.
Right.
Go forward. And to have those both in place, highly recommended.
Totally. Yes. Well, I think I had like one more thing I wanted to say about groups and then share a little bit about ours. And we've talked about this, but just accountability. We just mentioned this, but it's in all the self-help books. That's like Get Better 101, motivation science, right? We're more likely to follow through on a change we want to make when others are doing so alongside us. We've got that self-determination theory. Like we are doing this together.
Let's talk about week 1.
Okay. Of mom group and dad group?
Yeah.
Which starts Monday, November 17th.
Woo!
And people can try the first session for free. So just letting you know, as you are hearing about this, you can register, join the first session. And if you want to continue with the group through the next 5 weeks after that and go deeper with them, you can choose to join the group then.
Yeah.
What's this going to look like?
Well, for week 1, we're really focusing on the impact that non-birthing partners bring. And
you're speaking for both groups, so you can't really say that.
I see.
So this has to be true for it is.
Okay.
It's very, for dads that looks a little different. For moms that looks a little bit more like finding them in the midst of the storm and tuning in with themselves.
Okay. Yeah, we really want to keep week 1 open at no cost, primarily because families just need this. We don't want it to be an obstacle, priced to be an obstacle. And if you can only attend one, fantastic. It's going to help. If you want to go deeper and deeper, there are options.
And also we know how hard it is to show up for something that you haven't been a part of or that's new. I love samples, right? Like I love Costco because I love samples. Mm-hmm. And this will be, a sample. You might walk away satiated and you might walk away wanting to really do, some bigger work with the people who choose to do that too.
Yeah. Well, week 1 is about anchored presence. And it's what keeps you calm when things get messy, and it's what helps your partner feel safe to open up, even if it's stressful. And really, it helps your baby to relax and find its own calm more often. Neuroscience tells us that a parent's regulated body literally becomes the template. I don't know if literally is the right word there, but it becomes the template for the child's developing nervous system. So your calm breathing and your calm heartbeat is going to teach safety to your children and your family more powerfully than your words ever could. And that's why we teach tools like breath resets, awareness of body cues, how to recognize when you're getting close to a spiral, so you can step out faster and steady yourself and get your family's rhythm back where you're all happy and vibing and at home with each other.
Last night I was thinking about what is going to make this group the best that it can be. And it really is the people who resonate with the change that we can provide for them. Sure. And that's not going to be everyone. It's really going to be some people. And so I'm going to read my IG stories. If you're an expecting or new mom or dad, and you want to do what you need to do inside of yourself to show up as the parent and partner you want to be, these groups are for you. Both groups, the mom's group and dad's group, will focus on building your confidence, knowing how to take in a way that brings teamwork, and get crystal clear about your priorities. Mom group meets Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Dad group meets Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. This means, yay, you can each have a night of solo bedtime duty, and this will do you good. It's not hiding behind an anonymous post in a Facebook group. It's not putting on a perfect show on your Instagram feed. It's about having a real space for real talk and real growth in a rapid time of your life. It's not for everyone. You have to be willing and ready to put your bullshit away and step into your power. Each group runs for 6 weeks. You'll have your weekly session, and it's not just show up and shoot the shit. There's a syllabus that was made for a reason and discussion prompts that will change your life at home. In between our sessions, you can utilize the group text if you want to. I love a good group text, and I feel special to be in them. And this is a place you get to practice and be messy. So when you're back on the court of mom or dad or wife or husband, you're able to give it your best because you know how to access that in yourself. I think 10 out of 10 new parents should be in a group like this. It doesn't have to be ours, but at least a group like this at some point in the first 2 years. Because this wasn't meant to be a silo. But now parenthood is so performative that it feels like you have to keep it all together for everyone all the time. Here, you don't have to. We don't even want you to try to. That's my call out.
That's good. Yeah, we don't want you to, because it is tough. It's not a surprise so much anymore how tough it can be, particularly in this stage of the game. We've got mounting pressures outside, sort of an ambiguous, unclear future. There's a lot more pressing on new parents than ever before. And these spaces are a lifeline. And it doesn't have to be ours. We just want to see families get the help, the support, the clarity, the confidence they need to navigate that first season so well, get the foundation laid in place, right? And just move in a way that feels right for them. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing at you.
Oh, what were you laughing at?
It's embarrassing.
Oh, are you going to share it publicly?
No.
Okay.
Wrap up the podcast.
Okay. But groups like this are a lifeline. They're going to be just such a source of strength and insight and clarity, and just do it. Not our group. If you have another one, but if not, baby, come join us. First week is free. We want to give you as much as we can, for as little as possible. So show up and we're going to fill your cup. Like, if you have been trying to figure this out alone so far and you are feeling like that, this is your invitation to come home to community, the way human transitions are designed to be gone through. Because all of this healing and recalibration and getting the new rhythms in place, that all happens faster and better when we do it together. And I know that there is some research out there that calls this transformative learning. And when we process big life transitions with others, it builds in resilience and meaning. And I'm thinking about this just like we were just at a funeral, right? Like, different scenario altogether. But the fact that it was a very beautiful funeral, and people got up and they shared very candidly about the person that had passed and celebrated their life. And it was so beautiful to learn that all those things about that person, for one. But it also created a sense of closure, a sense of we're all recognizing as a community that this is happening, and we're all moving on together. And when you get into a group, isolation is traded out for group strength, and which really in turn comes back to it adds to one's individual strength as well.
Go team.
Go team. Was that a good ending?
I think so.
Okay.
You okay with it?
Yeah.
Did you have any aha moments or helpful reframes that came from this episode? If so, would you take a minute to lift us up and leave a review or a comment on the podcast page? It's hard for me to ask this, but I know it's so helpful for us as we reach more and more families and make the world a better place, starting in our own homes. So again, if something stuck out to you, if you are sending this to your partner so that you can have a conversation, or if there was a helpful tip you're going to employ in your own life, take a moment, leave a review, and let's keep the conversation going. Speaking of which, we did get some new cocoa lube from them in the mail.
Okay.
So we will need to try that out and hopefully share with our listeners whether we still love cocoa lube and whether it should be on their Christmas list.
Oh, man.
Your face is red. You are new to this.
That's true.
I don't think Mike's ever talked about sex on the podcast. I have. We're not going to today, but we're going to in the near future. We're going to have to.
You are going to have too much fun with it
today. The agenda today, so that's good.